Hi, it's Parametric Reviews and reviewing some spring products today. One of them is the Noodlehead sprinkler. Now, we've used several different sprinklers in the yard back when we were allowed to water much before the drought and before you can only water on Saturday if you're going to sprinkle. And we've used the sprinklers that go back and forth, cover a certain area. We've done the rotating sprinklers. Some people I know have the sprinkler systems in their yard with the little thing to catch it and spray it in just a certain direction. Well, this is trying to get the best of all those worlds together, I think. Let me zoom in and show you what it is. It's a sprinkler that you adjust yourself. You take these little tubes on the top that are flexible and you can direct them in whatever direction you want. Wherever you point them, that's where the water is going to go. So you can, I don't know how useful it will be for just watering a lawn. It looks like there's 4, 8, there's 12. And so I can spray water over here, here, here. I could actually have them all go to one side if I wanted, I suppose, if I didn't want any water. You know, can't spend any water on the neighbor's yard, so you could stick them all going in one direction, or you can point them, so long as this stays stationary, you can point them at different individual plants. And that's generally the idea behind it. It's got this, which I'm thinking you use in the bottom to hold it in place if you're not using it with the in-ground sprinkler system. Now, I was reading through the instructions, which they do give you some ideas on how to use this, and they do suggest using it for a lawn. The idea is there may be an area you don't want to water. A lot of people are xeriscaping their lawns now, so you may have a section with a rock and some bark. And the idea of having that is you're going to save on your watering bill because you don't need to water the rock. It's not going to grow any bigger. So if you have grass around here and the rock is here, so you angle these so that it avoids the bark and the rock and all your water actually gets to where it needs to go, which is onto the lawn. So that may actually work. Anyhow, I'm about to try this out. I just wanted to mention I have a link down below in the description. If you want to check it out online, go ahead and click on that. Otherwise, let's take it outside and see if it really works. Okay, I'm going to try out this Noodlehead sprinkler to water my garden. I've got some traditionally planted garden, and I've got the rollout as seen on TV gardens, flower and vegetable style. Now though, the thing with this, I tried this with the pocket hoses and had some unintended results. I'll show you a quick video clip of that here. Uh-oh. Well, there's an unanticipated downside of that. Once you turn the water off, the pressure's gone. It pulls the sprinkler and the entire hose back over about 15 feet from where you had it. I don't have an exact pattern in mind here. I think I'm going to pretty much stick it in the middle, so I'm going to angle these just every which way, and then we'll see how it does in watering. Good enough. Well, pretty good for a first try. I think it's going to get the garden just right. See, I've got it longer rectangularly, so... Well, the sprinkler's been running for about 10 minutes now, I would say. I just sort of pointed the things in random directions, but I'm trying to soak all of this stuff. This is the roll-out flower and vegetable garden, and you have to soak the mat. Now I've got one buried in this pot here. Doesn't look like it's gotten a drop on it. This is wet. That's good and soaked. But over here, that pot is good and soaked. That pot's hardly anything. This strip is half wet, half dry. So here I've reconfigured the noodles on top of the Noodlehead sprinkler to spray only on the rollout garden portion of the garden. And as you can see, none of it's going over here. So it's definitely directional, getting just half of it. Here I've divided it to, I tried to get it to go into basically two main places. One was over here. One was over here, but it's hard to get all the noodles to point in pretty much the same place. They do cover a fairly large area. That's how they're divided out. And this is the spray pattern I'm getting. So even all pointed together, maybe a 3 by 3 foot area at this distance, at about 10 feet from the sprinkler, is the narrowest area that it can water. So if you have a specific sprinkling layout that you need taken care of, this may be what you need if you need to hit 2 or 3 spots. I would say though, if you're planning on like sprinkling a whole, let's say, crescent moon shaped section of grass where you're not going to get the stone or the bark in the other part of it wet. You can certainly do that to not get the stone and the bark wet, but I don't know that it's going to be that spread out a sprinkle on the rest of your crescent lawn. So in other words, it can water a specific area, it can miss a specific area, but the problem is when you want it to miss a specific area and then water a general area, it seems to have a little trouble with that. But again, the link's down below. If it turns out it's what you need, why don't you check it out. They're somewhere between $10 and $15 online now.